Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. I wanted to do a quick info type video on the Basically Amazing workbooks. Since I released 3 new add-ons at one time, I can't do a video series on all of them at the same time. So I thought what I would do is I'd do a quick brief explanation on how to do the workbooks. Now, first I want to say that I didn't make the Basically Amazing Foundation workbook on video, but I've made several, and I made this one the exact same way I made, oh shoot, I can't think of what it is now. I have a whole playlist. I will link that up here in the cards and down below. I have a whole playlist on how I make my workbooks. So you choose your best method. The best way you want to do it is totally fine, and I do recommend making workbooks. So the 3 new add-ons are the Basically Amazing Scrap Journal add-on, and then the Decorative Edge, Basically Amazing Decorative Edge background, oh sorry, Decorative Edge add-on. So there's a Charming and then there's a Graceful. I'm not done with my Graceful yet, but I didn't want to wait until it was time to work on a Graceful album to show you how to do this really quick. So what I'm going to do is, let's go really quickly. So the templates are digital. They're in digital form. So you purchase them in my Etsy shop, you download them, and then you print them off. Well, when you print them off to make your workbook, because what's important, one of the reasons it's important to make a workbook is that you can use these as traceable templates. So let's say you didn't want to print this whole page off, but you wanted to have a pocket. You know, you could literally print this off one time, cut it out with all the tabs, all those extra tabs on there, and have it in your workbook so you could just go and trace it, okay? So the way I made this workbook is I printed the main base pages on, this is just copy paper, I think, and I backed back, not back to back, but I, like, this page is 17BD and then this is 18C. I put the 2 of them together and then laminated them. And then I slit the top part off to make a pocket. This way, if I have extra bits and pieces, I can store them in here, and that way if I want just one pocket, I've got it right here. So then what you then do is you print your mats off onto cardstock. You cut them out and you put double-sided adhesive. I use Scotch tape runner. And I don't use the Scotch tape. I use a replacement tape. It's a little bit cheaper. It's from the Tape Depot. And I put it on there, and then I de-stick it a little bit, and then I stick it to the laminated page. Okay, so after I laminate the pages, I do bind them with the Bind It All. I forgot to say that too. And then I put the mat on top of the page, so that way if I'm working on page 17BD, I can just grab this mat and trace it onto my pretty paper if I want to. Okay, so that's the foundations. That is the Foundations workbook. So let's start with the Decorative Edge. This is the new add-on. This is the Basically Amazing Decorative Edge, and this one is Charming. And I did the same thing. I laminated the pages. Let's see. These are the spine pieces for the new binding pages, so that the spines needed to be different sizes than what were in the Foundations. But all of the covers are in the Foundations, okay? There isn't a cover that is shaped like this. Okay, so I did the same thing. I printed off the main base pages onto copy paper. I don't think I slit this one open. And I didn't put slits in the ones that you won't need a pocket. You know, I didn't make a pocket because if I print this off, I'm going to use this. So there's no reason to have a pocket for extras. Does that make sense? Okay. So I printed the main base page onto copy paper, laminated it, and then took the mat and same thing. Printed the mat onto cardstock, cut it out, put tape on the back, and I've attached it to the page. This laminated page stuff. This is I used matte laminating pockets. There we go. On this, I don't know if I like it. I mean, it's okay. It's no glare for you guys, but the clear ones laminate better. I don't know. But anyway, these are matte. So I did the same thing, okay? I was trying to figure out a way to like include these into the workbook, but it would make the workbook super thick. So I just decided to make them separate. But the same thing, I made the Decorative Edge add-ons workbook the same way, okay? So then the other one, let's do it this way. The Basically Amazing Scrap Journal add-on. This is the workbook for that. And this one's completely different because it doesn't have main base pages in it. And except for one, it's got the spine pieces because again, there's different bindings, so it needed to have different spines to go along with the covers that are in the foundations. And it does have, this is another main base page. This is the spine piece if you wanted to make a booklet out of your main base pages, if that makes sense. I think I'm making sense. Okay, let's see. So what I did, so this is the explanation part for this one. What I did was I printed the main base pages from the foundation. So I printed 7A. I printed it 1, 2, oops, 3, 4 times, I think. Yeah, 4 times, and laminated it. And then the mats on top are the Scrap Journal add-on mats. So then I printed these onto cardstock, whoops, and I used tape to attach it to its corresponding page. And I thought, well, you could if you wanted to, but I wanted to keep the Scrap Journal separate. You could just literally take this and you could add it into your pocket, your main base page, 7A. You could just add them all into your pocket if you want to and just all have it in your foundations. But I have a separate workbook for each thing. And you don't have to do it that way, but that's the way I did it. So what I did, since this is a traceable template, you can either print it onto your pattern paper or you can trace it onto your pattern paper. I then took my Crop-A-Dowel and punched the ends of these slots, and then you can just mark those, and that way you can make your slots. You can mark your slots onto your pattern paper if you're tracing it out, and then you could cut a straight line between the two. So that's how I ended up doing that one. I didn't go ahead and make the complete slot. I didn't cut the complete slot out to trace. I just did the little hole, you know, punch the ends there. Okay, so I did that for all of the main base pages. So there's 8B, 8B, and then 9C, 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 9C. So I just printed the main base page from the foundations for each size, A, B, C, D, all 4 times, so that I could add these mats on there. You didn't have to do that. You could have literally put them in the pockets in here if you wanted to. Let's see. And then 10D, there isn't a mat in the Scrap Journal for that specifically, so I just left it blank. So here is the mat that is for the main base page though. Okay, and then these pages are numbered 57, well all of them, like for the 8B, main base 8B, this page is numbered 55.3B. That's because there's 4 different main mats for this page. There's just different configurations of slots. So each A, B, C, D, each one has their 4 different, you know, numbers. And then there is some of these that do not have mats at all. So like the matchbook pockets, it even says this does not have mats. So what I did was I printed that page off onto copy paper, I laminated it, and then I printed another set on cardstock and cut it out, and I scored everything and attached it down so that way if I wanted to just trace this out onto some of my scraps, I can just grab this and go. So I did that with these. And this page, and then obviously the file folders, I did the same thing just in case I wanted to trace those out onto some scraps because they do not have mats. It says this does not have mats. And then the floating pockets, I did the same thing, printed the page off onto copy paper, laminated it, and then cardstock, scored it, everything, so I can, if I want to, I can trace that. Same over here, no mats. This does not have mats. And then same on this page. This does not have mats, but this does say 2.5 inch circle punch, and this is a 1 inch circle punch. If I don't know why. Oh look, I messed up. It says exclamation point inches. It should be 1. That's funny. Okay, that is a 1 inch circle punch. And then on here, these are, I just put these in my scrap journal workbook. You don't have to have them in there like this. I did it like this. What I did was I printed the 4 different sizes of this rectangle label. I printed all 4 pages onto one page. And then I took an actual label size for each one and stuck it onto this laminated page. So that way I know exactly what size it is. So I didn't have to have 4 pages of this type of label. And then I did the same for the circle. And the circles do have corresponding punches. This is 2.5 inch, that is a 2 inch, this is a 1.5 inch, and that is a 1 inch. But anyway, I printed all 4 pages onto one, and then I put the actual size label on there, and then here's the square, same thing. These don't have corresponding punches, nor do the rectangles. Those are usually easy to cut out. And I did laminate. I was going to do these 4 to a page, but I changed my mind because I needed the size. But these are just the postcards. I didn't even, there's no traceable. There's just in here, the postcards. And these aren't, I don't have, I guess you could have a traceable template, but these don't have mats. These don't have mats, these don't have mats. Yeah, these don't have mats. And these, I have a pocket because I might print this off and just use one, but I'll probably keep it in my scrap journal ephemera holder, like I have all this other stuff, okay? So if I do have extras, I'll probably just put it in here or just grab from here instead of printing the whole page. And let's see. These don't have mats, but it is a pocket just in case. But again, I'll probably just keep them in my scrap journal. There is a detailed flip through of all of the things I made with my scrap journal. I will link that up here in the cards and down below if you want to check that out. And there's some of those. None of these have mats. So these are just all the ephemera. They're this and that ephemera pieces. Use them however you want. And then the tabs, I did this. I haven't added the actual size of the tabs yet. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I have them somewhere. But I'm going to come back and add the actual size of the tabs here. And then these are all of the printable papers. So it comes with, there is one zip file, and it has 2 PDFs in it. One of them is 8.5 by 11, and one of them is 11 by 17. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different patterns. But if you're using an 8.5 by 11 one, then it has if it has a direction, it has a portrait and a landscape. Just for your own, depending on what you're printing. If you're printing directly onto this paper, you may need it to go this direction, or you may need it to be portrait. So I just put the samples in here, and that's it. That is all there is to it. So this add-on has mostly mats, and then it has this and that ephemera, and then it has the digital papers. So all of these mats correspond to the foundation pages and the Basically Amazing foundation pages. So again, if you wanted to, you could take this, and if you had made a pocket, I don't know if I made a pocket in this one or not. Let's find page 7A here really quick. Oh, those are covers. So I did make a pocket. I could have taken all 4 of these because there's 4 different setups of these slots. I could have taken all 4 of these and put them in my pocket, and that way I would have had them and it wouldn't have been a separate book. So you don't have to make a workbook for your scrap journal if you don't want to. So feel free to leave me questions down below. I will be doing detailed videos on how to use all this stuff. I just can't do it all at one time, and I want you guys to have choices. But these are just slots that I've made before in albums where I just did the hole punch and then took my ruler and, you know, cut that little section out. So let's see, what else did I want to tell you? I think that might be it. I hope I've answered all the questions. If not, leave them in the comments down below and I will answer you as soon as I can. Okay, you guys. Alright, that's all I have. I will see you guys next time. Bye.